到礼拜晚场实况的时候，欢迎收看《玩家我是云志》。今天我们要来玩的是新游戏《福尔摩斯觉醒》。好，这礼拜意外的有放到一天台风假，然后说实话，不能说不应该放啊，但是好像真的没有那么严重。然后今天没有放，可是其实今天的怎么讲？某些状况来说，比昨天还要更像是可以放假的。硬要说的话，对啊，但结果今天没放，就算了，反正过了就算了。然后这礼拜都在研究新的东西，然后各种讨论跟卡关，所以其实蛮累的，蛮多东西都不顺利。不知道，然后刚好因为昨天本来应该要那个小组报告的，而且有蔡比巴新人来，然后结果刚好休假，就没机会报告到。但丑媳终须见公婆，所以下礼拜还是得要见真章。但不知道再说吧。然后家里面最近有很多事情在弄，刚才是在处理一堆，没到一堆了，但就处理家里面的事情，所以 delay 了一下。好啦，老规矩，反正就是时间差不多，累了就收。OK。然后啊，之前玩这个的时候啊，我都是用那个滑鼠玩。大家说它支援手把，我想说那我试试看用手把玩好了。就这样后开始新游戏。夏洛克怕水，如果他掉进去就会失去意识。什么？居然是那个不能碰水的人。对耶，等一下我可以按暂停吗？不行。The Shadow over London, Baker Street， 贝克街的亡灵。
Dr. Watson, would you kindly close the door behind you so that we can limit the price of your carelessness to merely hours of work rather than days?
My apologies, Mr. Holmes. I found myself rather taken aback. I saw tidier houses in war-torn Afghanistan. Are those my surgical needles?
I ran out of tacks and the matter required immediate attention.
Was that my supper?
Plainly not, for I was the one who ate it.
I set it aside for this evening.
And for that I am grateful.
Is that my bed?
Watson, since you've proven yourself a master of observation, might I ask you to apply your skills to a more pertinent question? Namely, the whereabouts of today's newspapers. They are the key to everything. The newsboy is usually reliable.
Medically speaking, I often find that the key to everything is good sleep. In a bed. Your papers are here, on the table.
Let us see what the postman brought today.
这个移动点，这个可以目标交互翻译连来。好，我刚刚是要讲几个东西，一个是我突然想到，他说很怕水这件事情。那个时候就是前一代，他有一个那个虚拟的朋友的那一代，就是他跟他妈妈之间的那个事情。他那边是不是有差一点被淹死吗？我有点忘记是不是有这一段。然后就是那边有一个那个可能的那个，就是他因为差一点被，就是他妈妈因为那个疾病的关系，然后吃了那个药，然后吃了药之后会有点精神错乱，然后差一点就把福尔摩斯淹死。然后福尔摩斯算是为了自保吧，就不小心把他妈妈给杀了，好像是这样。其中一个那个推理， 好像是这样，所以他很怕水。然后这个游戏它本身是这么多。诶，哦，哇，这一代的那个伪装还是很多。诶，华生的。他之前那个虚拟的那个人，就是很像华生现在这个脸，只是没有胡子，然后比较年轻这样子的样子，好像啊。跳出了一个快讯，大乐透一注独得，在台中，算了吧。没东西分析，给。
This mess is getting out of hand. What will the landlady think?
诶，可是这个家很像是那个我之前玩那个恶魔的女儿的那个家。伦敦广告报，1882年9月28。
Local gossip, all of it uninteresting. Your order from Barnes' bookshop has arrived, Doctor.
Barnes insists on delivering the books to our door, even though we could easily walk to his shop. That's good service.
Another letter from Werner. They never reply, but they keep coming. I don't see the Strand. Where is it?
Pardon me?
I am on the precipice of uncovering a pattern of crime across London spanning many months and involving many men. The missing paper cannot be a coincidence.
That's preposterous.
My dear fellow, life is infinitely stranger than anything which the mind of man can invent.
Well, life used your newspaper to wipe its posterior, so after that unpleasant discovery this morning, I disposed of it. But in lieu of the Strand, perhaps I can deliver you something equally tantalizing. I have just returned from a patient of mine, Captain Stemrick, who...
No, that will not do. Grab your coat, Dr. Watson. Let us hope nobody has collected the dustbin.
什么？要离开了？河岸。超乱的啦。
I'm close, I know it. I just need one more piece to crack the case.
等它爆炸。
The dustbin is yours for the digging, Mr. Holmes.
这游戏应该没有跑步。
Don't look at me. If you want the newspaper, you'll have to get your hands dirty.
衣柜、帽子。诶，哇塞，这什么鬼？哦。大衣透气又温暖。 风衣，保证马上就会弄脏。有风衣吧，帽子，华生的头，为什么？好了，华生的头，华生的大衣太大了，华生的戴帽大衣，我说的是这样，我说的是帽子。正合心意，该谈认真，它应该是下面那一个太大了。我说的是帽子。OK， 出发。对，就这一句，我在想是不是他那个小时候的那一个。
If you come across one of my drafts, please leave it in the bin.
是我不知道我要去哪里。我要去哪里啊？靠干嘞！斯坦威克的庄园。哦，还可以快速旅行耶，好赞！可是就表示这一次会有很多跑很远的那个吗？搞错了。你不提示我。
If I'm honest, part of me will enjoy watching you rifle through rubbish.
Seems only fair after what you did to our flat.
哇，摔倒了！摔了，哪里啊？还是这里而已啊。
对。
好，继续，这是什么？
A cactus spine. If it gets in your skin, it's awfully tricky to remove, and when laced with poison, the perfect assassination tool. You were mistaken, Dr. Watson. The paper was indeed dirtied, but not how you implied. It's potting soil. See, Watson? The conspiracy is real. Someone tried to poison me.
Poison? You? That's madness.
就我刚跑了。
Do you even have enemies that would want to kill you? Okay, perhaps from Cordona.
确实在垃圾桶。上面插着一根刺。盆栽土弄脏了。
Get the Strand! Get your copy of the Strand here! Sorry, Mr. Holmes, I just sold my last paper.
Blast. Then why are you still here?
Boss pays by the hour. No sense in returning early.
Any breaking news today?
The dog accident. It's the talk of the town.
Yes, yes. Besides the tripe on the front page, anything about burglaries?
I'm not sure, sir.
You're a bright child. I presume you see everything that goes on around here?
Nothing gets past me, mister.
Then tell me, did you notice anyone suspicious at my door this morning?
Like the man with your newspaper?
Precisely. What do you know?
I know the value of a shilling.
Dr. Watson.
Cool, now I can take the day off.
Can you describe the man you saw?
He was carrying a lot of books. Up to his chin they were.
Never heard of a well-read assassin.
Looks undeceived. Hence the appeal of disguises. Did you see what he was up to?
Nah, not really. I saw him approaching your house, but I had a customer. Then there's a loud bang. I ducked down. Not 'cause I was scared, 'cause I wasn't. I had to protect the merchandise. And all I could see was him kneeling at your door.
Which way did he go?
Not sure. I was distracted by customers. Sorry.
All right. You earned your shilling. That'll be all.
Thanks, Mr. Holmes. Maybe I could be your eyes and ears. If you have more shillings.
思维殿堂。没关系。哦，哎，不能再转。未遂的刺杀，放大。
From
Get
that
the
Mr.
Strand!
Holmes' murder?
Get your copy of the
Yes,
Strand
Martin
here!
works, but he also has his scruples.
Not every pawn knows it's part of a game.
Get the Strand!
还在那边喊，又没有输了。
Get your copy of the Strand here!
应该说在那边喊，又已经没有那个了，还在那边喊。书店，
Get the Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here.
Lucky 是吧？巴恩市布克斯头。哦，太惊恐了，那个脸。诶，
May I ask you something?
As much as I'd like to help you, I know nothing about this.
来，哎，找到了。Farm
Is
Fresh，
this familiar to you? Sorry, sir, can't help you.
哦，他那种不是相关人，你问他也不会
Are
理
you able to help me?
I can't help you with that, sir.
明明他就在隔壁，对了，然后他居然跟你讲说他其实什么都不知道。
Do you know anything about this?
A lady doesn't know about such things.
为什么要性别歧视 ？Lady 不知道。好复杂，好吧。
How about that vocal photo? He seems rather obsessed with you. Would he do something like this?
那先把它拿掉。福老二，
Hello there. What's your name?
Lily, I know, not very original. The weather is dreary, isn't it? To be fair, my flowers could use the rainfall.
到热。
Why go through all this scheming to murder you? A spine stuck to the newspaper is hardly lethal.
嗯？安安，
So, Hans has a dog now. Who's a good boy? So,
A ruined
Hans has a dog
newspaper
now.
is hardly the
Who's
end
a
of the
good
world.
boy?
We can always buy another.
好喘。眼袋，过度劳累的结果。手脏脏，墨水，报纸上的墨水？问号。嗯？嗯？原来如此。重心在右，左脚疼痛。高跟鞋，想让自己看起来更高大。长时间高度工作的关系，有些自卑，他刚才你高一点，墨水 太可能。自己的一个巴纳睡眠不怎样。差，这两个也差太多了吧？好啦，就这个吧，随便写。
Mr. Barnes, a word. Oh, for goodness sake.
Who goes there?
Sherlock Holmes. Now, will you please?
Mr. Holmes. Golly, I did not see you coming.
Would you care to answer some questions for me?
I wish I could, but I am deep in the weeds with work. How about we reschedule in a month or two?
Come now, Mr. Barnes. It'll only take a moment.
Really deep in the weeds with important things. Help yourself to any book. Just take it and pay later. I trust you, Mr. Holmes.
Barnes doesn't seem like himself. Why is he acting this way?
You're asking the right questions, Doctor. Let's find a way to coax him out.
点击这个图显中的可交互软件。
The ladder is broken recently, judging by the freshness of the wood.
Barnes has always been a little odd, but this is uncharacteristic even for him.
哦，这么多！珍奇植物目录，永恒植物，永恒爱。这么巧。
Basics of cryptoanalysis.
Me.
Photography in Egypt. It appears Barnes has an interesting hobby.
密码学书籍。
I could hardly imagine anything more macabre. In the language of Mycroft's secret agents, it's a sign. Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done. I wonder who the recipient is.
枯萎的话，
An improvised stand, but it does make the flowers more visible. Finest view London has to offer.
You're looking for a cactus needle in a haystack. A spine in a book stack. No, come on, Watson, think.
.该是思考的时候了。没关系。 枯萎的花。这要怎么取消掉？一定跟这个有关吗？有东西没找到，就是那个重建现场。
Apologies, but I can't hear you. Please come back later.
I like bookshops. One of the few spots in London where you are shunned for making a racket.
I should have worn something warmer.
是不是应该要那个？
People don't tend to come out for flowers when it rains. Perhaps I should try selling door to door. Have a look at my flowers. They will not bite unless you touch their thorns.
Encouraging people to stop and smell the roses?
Our national emblem. God save the Queen.
Familiar spine? That's what I found in my dustbin. The pot is damaged. The blow was severe, but softened by something. It must take patience and care to produce a bloom so beautiful.
I imagine so. I merely sell them. Anything tickle your fancy, Mr. Holmes?
不太好控制这个东西。神情恍惚。悼念亡夫，不寻常的工作服，化了妆，干净的靴子。 这个吧。
Mrs.
瞎掰。
Fleming, you look particularly lovely today. Is there a reason?
Does a woman need a reason to look or feel beautiful?
No, but your distant look suggests you seek one man's gaze in particular.
Who told you that?
Nobody. Merely a keen eye and some simple deduction.
Well, I'll kindly ask you to keep your keen eye to yourself, Mr. Holmes. Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller. I don't know anything about this, sorry.
What do you make of the flowers in Barnes' shop window?
Well, they could use a bit of water.
Do they mean anything to you?
Mean anything how? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Holmes.
Why do you think they're there?
Are you suggesting the flowers are for me?
It seems likely, does it not?
Oh, I hope you're right.
他都在乱推理，我觉得。
I don't know anything about this, sorry. I don't know anything about this, sorry.
Are you familiar with Mr. Barnes?
Yes, no, not really. Well, in a way.
What on earth does that mean?
I know who he is, of course, but we haven't shared much more than a look.
A look?
Yes. Each morning I go for a walk in the park with my dog, and most days I spot Mr. Barnes there with his new puppy. So we see each other. Actually, we once met briefly while our dogs played. He was quiet and seemed unsteady as he approached. But since then, we've never spoken. I often see him staring through the shop window. Sometimes I wonder what he thinks about that would etch such longing onto his face. I don't know anything about this, sorry.
One of these things is not like the other.
Come again?
The cactus. Those fearsome spines can prove a dell to remove, and the sap is often toxic.
And a rose thorn can give you tetanus, but we still grow them. The cactus seems comparatively harmless. Though you have me thinking it must be valuable.
I was under the impression that you knew its price already.
Your guess is as good as mine. The first time I saw this cactus was when I came back from my break.
5个证据。我怎么觉得这一次的有点太麻烦了一点？呵呵。偷偷送了一株仙人掌给他。哎，结束了。
I think perhaps I have been chasing shadows.
Do not despair, Mr. Holmes. Even the best of us make mistakes. We better tell Mr. Barnes what we've learned.
Have a look at my flowers. They will not bite unless you touch their thorns.
有点诡异的第一关。
Mr. Barnes, I know what you did, and I know why you did it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. I can't hear you very well from behind the door.
You ordered a cactus from the plant catalogue and then left it for Mrs. Fleming as a gift. You place flowers in the window to get her attention and wear high heels to appear taller and more desirable. You are her secret admirer. I couldn't read this morning's edition of The Strand because it was covered in soil and spines. I know you dropped a cactus on it and then fled.
Barnes, it's Dr. Watson. Rest assured we are not interested in disclosing your personal affairs to anyone, including Mrs. Fleming. Please come out.
All right then.
So, you know what happened then? I was on my way back from the post office, having picked up the cactus and some books. It was quite an awkward package, heavy too, and when I got to your door, I dropped the cactus and your paper. Forgive me.
I needed that paper to prove a theory and prevent a crime. Your actions were rather disruptive. Your clumsiness carrying the post is matched only by the clumsiness of your romantic gesture.
Oh, it's true. I am useless with this sort of thing. I'm not even sure if Mrs. Fleming noticed.
As in most things in life, truth is the answer. Cease with the obtruse signals and anonymous gifts, and simply talk to the woman. What is the worst that can happen? She rejects you, and you are freed from this endless purgatory.
That... Yes, you are correct, of course. I do have a slight tendency to overthink things. Thank you.
So, at last, we return to the matter of the paper. I'm investigating a string of burglaries. Did you perhaps read of any before the edition was spoiled?
I don't recall, but you're welcome to read our copy for yourself.
You had an issue of The Strand here all along?
Well, naturally. I am a bookseller. I have a subscription to every magazine and newspaper in London.
So you ought to be familiar with the concept of burying the lead.
Oh no, my apologies, Mr. Holmes. I'll make it up to you however I can. I am an expert on obscure languages and translation and
Yes, okay. Just give me the paper.
言外之意，他这个意思是之后如果有拿到一些比较特殊的语言或文字，可以找到翻译。可是这一代就是比较克苏鲁的东西，那看他翻译会不会他就疯了？消失、爆炸、震撼码头，摩斯克瓦号停靠在3号码头。他没有看到消息泄露到河里。
Come, Dr. Watson. Let us put this matter behind us.
Farewell, Mr. Barnes. I hope to hear good news about you and Mrs. Fleming.
let me know if there's any way I can make it up to you. Tell you what, tomorrow's edition of The Strand is on me.
站住！看来是没有缺的，可以走了。
I'm sure Barnes has had enough of our meddling, Mr. Holmes. We best be off.
Well, that was an utter waste of time.
An assassination did seem rather unlikely.
There was supposed to be another burglary. I was certain of it. Something you wish to say, Doctor?
No? Well, only that you have a remarkable faculty for deduction and pattern recognition. And that perhaps, if ill-applied...
I see things that are not there.
Yes. It is London. There will always be burglaries. Doesn't have to mean anything.
So it seems. Forgive me. Without something to occupy my mind, I turn into an entirely different animal.
Which brings us back to my news from earlier. I think I have a case for you, a real one.
Truly?
Indeed. Though perhaps not as thrilling as your stories from Cordona. A patient of mine, Captain Stenwick, told me that his servant disappeared. I said I knew just the man to help. What do you say?
Oh, Watson.
Yes, I know it's not the most tantalizing mystery, nor the story to launch my writing career. But
it's brilliant. Let's go.
Oh, good. Well, his house is nearby. Come.
Oh.
Stenwick is just down the street from Barnes's bookshop.
斯坦威克庄不就是这里吗？那个绿色的是就是解完的意思吗？书店对面。对啊，咦？
Not much further now.
应该是这里吧？
Stenwick is just down the street from Barnes's bookshop.
Is this lousy attitude of yours because of my altercation with Inspector Lockhart? Did he put you up to this?
Sir, the inspector has nothing to do with it. I'm telling you the same thing I tell anyone seeking a missing person.
Good day, gentlemen. Forgive the intrusion. Captain Stenwick, this is my colleague Sherlock Holmes, the consulting detective I told you about.
At last, a professional. This useless officer refuses to do anything about Kimmy here, my missing servant. What was your name again? I shall be certain to inform your superiors.
Sergeant Ruffles. It's my superiors who made this decision, sir.
Why has the police department decided not to help?
We investigate murders, thefts, fraud, arson, real crimes. The servant walking away from his master is not our highest priority. That said, if we find him here breaking the law, we'll be sure to notify Captain Stenwick.
Have there been other disappearances lately?
Of course, here and there. When life is tough and opportunity comes knocking, you can't blame those who answer. Now, I must be off. Best of luck in your search.
You heard that, didn't you? The way that man spoke to me. I shall need your written testimony. Then we can lodge a complaint.
Captain, perhaps Mr. Holmes' time is better spent learning about your servant, so that he may begin his investigation.
Ah, yes. Quite right. Fire away.
When did you last see your servant?
Kimmy here normally brings me the morning papers, but yesterday I had to get them myself. He must have escaped the night before yesterday.
Tell me about Kimmy here.
He's foreign, a Maori, all the way from New Zealand. Biggest man you've ever seen, and as strong as two. Dark hair and fearsome tattoos. He doesn't speak a whit of English, never bothered to learn. But I made do with pointing. I invested a lot of money in him, so he must be found.
为什么要在他身上花很多钱？
May I see your servant's bedroom?
His shack is in the garden. You can't miss it.
Did you search the room?
Of course, but only to check he wasn't lying dead inside. Everything seemed normal at a glance.
I take it this is the first time Kimmy here has vanished?
Undoubtedly. The man seemed terrified of the city. I think it was all the noise. He never left this estate. Should he cause any damage, I will bear the responsibility, for it was I who rescued him from savagery and brought him here to England in the first place.
Is there any reason Kimmy here may have left?
I should think not. He had all he could have wanted. Gainful employment, new clothes, and all the cabbage he could eat.
Did Kimmy here make off with anything of value?
Heavens, no. I would have mentioned it to Sergeant Ruffles.
Still, he must have fled with some money on his person.
No. I kept his wages in my safe. For security.
All right, Captain. I think I have enough to get started. We shall first take a look around the mansion.
Go ahead. I'll be here, mentally drafting my complaint. are you still here?
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone?
福尔摩斯碰水啦，他要死啊！没事。这个怎么那么像他以前的那个家？一个逃跑的人，可是他身上什么都没有，他要怎么逃跑？他要跑去哪里啊？消失1天多了都没回来，这是什么？为什么有这个符号？
Chewing tobacco. A shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots.
为什么有一个这个东西在这里？然后他不能调查？我是不是少了什么东西？ 哦，要进入专注模式。
Looks like a knee print. Someone knelt here. The amount of chewing tobacco suggests they were waiting a while.
Amazing, Mr. Holmes. To read the ground like an open book.
想象，哦，要足够线索。什么意思啊？不懂，没得变啊，他就这样而已啊。
Could have left these tracks. They seem fresh.
服装。 不是奖励吗？
A scrap of Hessian. These were sturdy boxes. It would have required a serious blow to break them. Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here.
一头撞上去。没有。
A small navy spyglass.
太多东西了吧。
Mutton chops, the remains of a meal. The ashes are long since cold. A heavy chemical odour. Lend me your nose, Doctor.
Ah, I'll never forget that smell after my time in Afghanistan. That's an opioid, Mr. Holmes, a narcotic.
鸦片。
No air coming through it. Is this a taniwha, a Maori water spoon, or something else?
Either way, it's giving me chills. Do you think Kimmy here had an accomplice in his escape?
A Maori nose flute. Ngurus, they're called. Clothes made of hessian. Is Sten really so miserly?
嗯，不能选啊。这看起来好像有东西可以选，但实际上没东西选，是什么意思？对啊，那看起来有3个可以选，但实质上我没有3个可以选。What？ 外面还有一个。
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right. This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
可以找人问的意思吧。
The rag reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney.
都不能那个。
The door to your garden has an interesting lock.
Yes, I have uncommon locks on every door of my mansion. It makes them harder to pick. Kimmy here and I both have a set of keys.
I'll need to borrow them.
No, you'll need to do what I tell you to do. Examine the garden.
有点复杂。
I came across a pile of Hessian clothes in the shack. Are they Kimahir's?
Yes, I had to give him something to clothe himself. He seemed unfazed by his bare skin, but I found it distracting. I thought you were meant to be intelligent. Are you joking? Why would I know this?
Is this spyglass familiar?
I don't recognize it.
Could it be Kimahir's, perhaps?
I doubt it. I never saw him with it, nor could I suggest how he might have come by it. Where on earth are you going with this?
Do you happen to know Kimahir's shoe size?
I wouldn't have the foggiest, but I'm sure it was enormous. Not that it matters. He spent his life barefoot. Despite my best efforts, he simply did not take to shoes.
Has Kimahir ever indulged in tobacco?
No, the man doesn't even drink.
Are you certain? I found chewing tobacco in the garden.
I controlled Kimahir's expenses since he struggled with the currency. I would have known if he used tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
'If you find my man, I have a marvelous whiskey with your name on it.
Yes, Stenwick is no angel, but he's one of my few clients. Please, try to remain courteous.
我不太懂那个符号是什么意思。突然间都解开了，是不是？ 那个丁选的东西，哎，这里还有，为什么？
Someone moved a cart to this spot and then took it elsewhere. Can't see it anywhere in the garden.
Sounds 这样子吧。还有一个要丁选的。这样，好，这个错，这个错，
Surveilling from far, the intruder waited for a window of opportunity. When Kimihir went to sleep, the man crept up to the shack and slipped narcotics down the chimney pipe, then blocked it with a cloth. Kimihir inhaled the sedative and fell into a deep sleep. The intruder tried to move him, but the man was heavier than expected. The intruder fell on the sack and dropped his spyglass. In order to transport the servant, he had to use the cart. The final challenge was opening the garden door. Luckily for our intruder, Kimihir had the key in his shack.
他被绑架了。这个跟花园里的轨迹足迹，这两个对。不是这一个。乱选，完全无关。 跟这个有关。应该先跟他回报这个吧。
You'd best have found something by now, gentlemen.
I fear that someone may have spied upon Kimahir. Likely the owner of the spyglass I found earlier. It appears they were watching for some time, as there was an impressive amount of chewing tobacco on the ground.
And your point?
I found the residue of narcotics in Kimahir's brazier. There are several explanations, perhaps your servant's recreational interest, or an attempt to poison.
Cut to the chase, Mr. Holmes.
You said that you checked the shack earlier. Did you notice the cart tracks near it? Now, one ought to expect a servant to make regular use of such a thing. Indeed, I would have overlooked the detail were it not for the cart's absence. If, as you say, Kimahir never leaves your estate, then where did it go?
I expect answers from you, Mr. Holmes, not questions.
I won't keep you in suspense any longer, Captain. Kimahir was abducted by the owner of the spyglass. When your servant fell asleep, he slipped a narcotic into Kimahir's brazier to make him sleep even more soundly. In order to carry a man as large as Kimahir, the intruder stole the cart and rolled him right out of your garden.
Now, hold on. All this simply to tell me what I already know. Why haven't you found him yet?
I only arrived a moment ago. It is, frankly, incredible that I have already deduced so much.
Every second you dawdle here, waiting for me to stroke your ego, is another second wasted. I'm not interested in the how, the why, or the who. I am only interested in recovering my investment. Spare me the claptrap, boy, and go and fetch my servant.
Truly, there is no better evidence of a man's nature than the way he treats those who help him. And you, sir, are a brute. The cruelty of your ignorance about the married people, your selfish attitude to a man's kidnapping.
The point is, Captain, we're telling you this for a reason. The intruder fled through the garden door, and we need a key to follow his trail.
Well, then you should have led with that. Here you go. I hope you'll return soon with good news. And in the meantime, please teach your companion the art of brevity.
这个上尉是个鸡巴人。找到了车子。
Wheels picked up grass along the way. Kimahir's cart, I gather. Sturdy rope, professionally tied in a Portuguese bowline. This knot is often used by sailors to create a bosun's chair. A strange substance. I have my suspicions based on the colour and consistency, but would you care to hazard a guess, Doctor?
Well, it's odorless, but from the way it absorbs water, I'd say saltpeter.
Then we're in agreement. Well done.
结束了。
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone.
要推理吗？看来是要推理。要做一个这么大的空间，然后什么都没有，蛮特别的，特别的无聊。等一下，别出来！哦，就是这里啊！主机望远镜。水手，伦敦港。
The Strand proved not so useless after all. The saltpeter accident, Doctor, do you recall?
The Port of London, of course. The footwear, the spyglass.
Indeed. We shall need to take a cab there.
不知道，保什么？
Where to, Gav? The Port of London, please. I will show you where to stop.
完成第一站。的布拉德雷德奈，我这样就玩完第一章了，然后就进到伦敦港了。我只是来找一个失踪人口而已。
Mr. Holmes, what a compelling mystery we have stumbled upon. Perhaps I have the premise of my next novel.
One kidnapping does not a story make.
Stop! A black cat crossed before us. It's a bad omen.
I do not take you for the superstitious type, Doctor. Such things are mere fantasies, tricks of a feeble mind. One imagines a physician would keep a surer footing in reality.
Perhaps. Before the war, my time abroad was difficult. Once, I came across an Afghan, bleeding, who I could not save. He pressed a rosary into my hand. A gift, he said, so as to gain God's favor. After that...
Dr. Watson?
Yes, well, I shan't get into details, but sometime later I found myself lost in the desert. Dehydration set in, and things grew ever more dire. The man's words came to me. I said a prayer, and placed the rosary on a rock. A gift to gain God's favour.
And you were rescued?
Yes. A detachment of British soldiers found me.
To whom I'm grateful. Without their diligence, you would not be standing here and I would not have this case.
I'm sure you have another explanation prepared, Mr. Holmes, but I think I shall cling to the occasional superstition of the same.
To each his own, Dr. Watson. So long as it does not interfere with my methods, do it. We must press on, cat or no cat. Question remains, why abduct Kimmer here?
试试名片。哦。
It appears that the saltpeter explosion rattled the locals. Can't blame them for staying low.
Help me, please.
Oh, you're fortunate. I will help you.
此人通常在船附近徘徊。
Excuse me, just one question.
I can't tell you because I don't know.
Do you know anything about this? Sorry, sir, I can't help you. Help me, please. Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Oh,
这么多。
hardly a reputable establishment.
哎，又有人失踪。格万特。船票。
Greetings, miss. I'm hoping you can help us.
We shall soon see.
苍白，嘴唇干裂，孕吐，腹部有点隆起，有点太紧。 哎，我不知道哎。
I heard tell of a recent explosion in the port. What do you know of it?
Ah, yes. Something exploded in a ship's cargo hold. Caused a terrible blaze. The sky was red with smoke till morning.
Where precisely did it occur?
The ship sank near the third pier, next to the dockyard.
My colleague and I are seeking a burly man, above average height, with workman's boots.
Half my customers, then. Your description hardly narrows things down.
Miss, what if I told you that you are in the family way?
No, really? Oh, thank you, sir. How would I, a simple woman, have ever known without your help? You must be a doctor.
In a manner of speaking.
He's not. He merely has the ego of one. I apologize, miss. Mr. Holmes is fond of his observations, but I am the doctor here, not him. Do you need any help?
I'm fine, thank you. would rather not discuss my condition, nor let word of it spread.
Are you familiar with a Roy Soulsby?
Roy Soulsby? I know the name, but he's not one of my regulars. My guess is that he works somewhere around here.
What do you know about this poster?
A foreign woman asked to put it up. She's plastered them all over the pool.
Any clues as to her whereabouts?
None. It was hard to understand what she was saying.
该不会就是那个也是毛利人，所以讲话很难懂吧？猫猫不能互动。
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Look, sorry, I know nothing.
不挂东西，他完全没有办法那个。
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Look, sorry, I know nothing.
Help me, please.
Look, sorry, I know nothing.
它有好多个出口。应该什么都没有吧？现在。对啊。
Do you know anything about this?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
May I ask for your assistance?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
太多猫了。我都不知道在哪里。为什么要红色、蓝色跟黄色？诅咒的美人鱼，所以我现在在左下角，然后中间那一个就所谓的诅咒美人鱼那个地方，那个下面那一个。它出来有，就刚好它三角形嘛，所以它有3个出来的点，应该是这个意思吧。对，应该没猜错。以地图来看，
May I ask for your assistance?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Do you know anything about this?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
没有人有线索。
Can I ask you a question?
No, sorry, I know nothing.
Is this familiar to you?
I'm sorry, but I don't know.
Excuse me, just one question.
Oh, sorry, I know.
May I ask for your assistance?
No, sorry, I know nothing.
什么都问不到。
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
It's a shame I can't answer your question.
我现在在哪里？红路区。哦，我现在到这边了。木匠和能干的船员，壮汉。
Are you able to help me?
I can't tell you because I don't know.
May I ask you something?
I can't tell you because I don't know.
1、2，3号人。
Is this familiar to you?
It is a shame I can't answer your question.
没有人知道。
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
No, sir, I've never heard of it.
我刚刚不是看到这边有个人吗？人呢？
It's a large harbour. If our kidnapper is hiding here, finding him won't be easy.
哦，什么都没有。我决定在这边放弃了。我猜是看一下地图来说。好，不确定，但不知道，先这样吧。哦，差一个， 啊，我应该记在这里的。来不及了，我已经把它盖掉了。哼。好，先到这边。一来是累了，二来是觉得有点麻烦，不知道是不是有手把不习惯的关系。好啦，先到这边啦，然后剩下的就下礼拜再继续啦。OK， 就先这样子啦。想想啊，其他不重要再说了。好啦，就先到这边了，感谢你今晚收看了，我们下次再见，晚安，拜拜。